Welcome into our first spring training video cast here on 680thefan.com. Happy to have you with us. I'm Ben Ingram. This is Kevin McAlpin. This is Champion Stadium.
Here we are.
In beautiful Lake Buena Vista, Florida, the spring training home of the Atlanta Braves. Team is actually on the field right now taking BP. Kind of a shorter, lighter day today, but we're off and running. This is day 3 of Brave spring training. Pitchers and catchers reported a few days ago. Full squad report day is tomorrow, and then the first full squad workout will be Saturday the 18th, which is a week before the very first game on the 25th. So we're happy to be here and happy to have you tuning in as well. And we're going to be doing all sorts of fun things while we're here and exploring all sorts of things in the Grapefruit League. I know that when it comes to spring training, there are some unknowns, Kevin, because during the season, maybe fans haven't been to every ballpark, but they see every ballpark on television. They see the Braves playing there, and not everyone has been down here. Not everyone knows what it's like down here. So we have an opportunity to share that with our viewers over the next few weeks.
80 degrees, sunny skies, the birds are chirping, and most importantly, you're hearing the crack of the bat and the pop of the gloves, and baseball is back. So spring has definitely sprung here in Central Florida. It's been beautiful weather since we got here, and it's been fun. There's been a number of guys already here. Position players are showing up early. Freddie Freeman is here. Matt Kemp is here. Ender Inciarte, Dansby Swanson got here today. A number of guys here way ahead of when they need to be. So there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of optimism in camp, something we haven't seen the last couple of years.
Yeah, there is. I think there's an optimism that things have turned around. Something that Kevin and I were talking about on a recent podcast was how we feel like the rebuilding process is over. You're always building, you're always looking to add pieces and get to where you want to be, and becoming a contender is not the end game. It's all about winning a championship, winning a World Series. So you're always adding, but we feel like the process of tearing it all down, trading guys who had contracts that were not going to be beneficial to your franchise, we feel like that's all done. And now we feel like the materials are in place to build something substantial. And a lot of us feel that that starts this year. I think as far as expectations go, there are a lot of people who are hoping that the Braves can get back to 500, be a contender in that regard, show something similar the whole season to what they showed in August and September of a year ago. But if that's the case, the last 2 years, as dreadful as they were, really set things up for the next few years being very, very fun. I think you and I both feel like they make a big jump this year, and 2018 could be the year that you go into the season at this point of the year and saying, these guys are more than just a contender. We expect these guys to be winners.
Well, look, you look at last July, you bring in Matt Kemp. This offseason, you bring in Sean Rodriguez and now Brandon Phillips. Disappointing that Sean Rodriguez won't be available. It's an unfortunate situation, but what you're seeing is guys coming as opposed to going. You're seeing big names coming into the organization as opposed to the last couple of years when you were bringing in prospects and rebuilding this farm system. So the rebuilding process is not a fun one. There's a reason that not a lot of teams strip it down to the studs and start over, because there are growing pains you're going to go through, and that's what we've seen the last few years. I think those days are behind us, and I do think that those brighter days, those reasons to be excited, they're finally here now.
Yeah, they are. So we'll get to see these guys on the field in about 9 days on February 25th. And as we are calling games, of course, we're going to take you around the Grapefruit League. We'll show you different ballparks. We'll take you inside of our booth for Periscope sessions right before we go on the air. We'll be able to take you places that you would not normally be able to go. And we're very excited with the Braves Radio Network to be one of the very few teams to broadcast every single game. In some combination, Jim Powell, Don Sutton, Kevin, Limmer, and myself will be handling play-by-play duties for every single game here. I know that the Cubs are doing that this year. I want to say that the Tigers are doing the majority of the games. I don't think there are more than 2 or 3 teams who are covering every single spring training game, and we're happy that we can do that for our listeners up and down the Braves Radio Network. So you definitely want to find us here on 680 The Fan. We have plenty of avenues for you to find out what we're up to down here. 680thefan.com with our video podcast. Of course, our Twitter handle at Kevin McAlpin, at Ingram Radio. On 680 The Fan, games on 1340 The Fan 3, MLB.com with your MLB at-bat app. So there's no shortage of avenues for you to find Braves news coming from us here at spring training. So you definitely want to pay attention to our videos, because we're going to be taking you all around the Grapefruit League for the next few weeks, and happy to have you with us. So make sure you stay in touch with us, and we'll be catching up with you soon. For Kevin, I'm Ben. Talk to you later.